So, good evening once more, and welcome to tonight's session. We're going to talk about project closure reports. Last time we discussed lesson learned, and tonight is going to be project closure. Lesson learned is a part of project closure component. It's part of the things we capture in project closure. So that's why I have to talk about lesson learned before project closure. So after this, we must there's a lot of documents in project management, lots of them, but we're talking about most important documents. So we've covered a lot, covered key documents. Depends on how you manage your project. The angle you come will determine the kind of documentation, but we've covered key documents that will help you to manage project, depending whatever angle you are coming. The documentation and techniques we've covered so far is enough. So after project closure document, we are going to be talking about soft skills, tools and methodologies. And we're going to be done with project management training. So let's proceed with today's activity, project closure report. So what is this project closure? Or how do we close a project? These projects we've been handling for months, and finally we've covered everything we want to cover, all the things we've captured in our project plan. We've ticked everything, all the levels, all the activities, everything ticked, captured on time, on budget, everything. Do we just abandon because we've ticked everything? No, we have to do a finalized report, showing that the project has come to an end. So we're going to understand the purpose and the importance of a project closure report, learn the key component of a project closure report, and develop skills to create comprehensive closure reports. What is closure report? A project closure report is a formal document prepared at the end of a project to summarize its outcomes, assess its success, and ensure all project activities are completed. It provides a record of the project's achievement, challenges, and lessons learned, serving as a reference future document. So you see here, we try to assess what the outcome against the objectives. How did the project end? So what are the objectives, and how did we manage to capture the objective? How far did we go trying to capture our objective? So we need to assess the outcome, the success, our challenges. All those things will need to be captured very well in a report. So making it a reference document where one can leverage on, to learn extensive lesson about a project. So the importance of a closure report: project accountability, confirm whether project objective and deliverables were met. Stakeholder communication, communicate the outcome to the stakeholders. Lesson learned, document successes and challenges. to improve future projects, and official closure. Mark the formal end of the project and release resources. And compliance. Ensure all contractual and organizational requirements are met. You know, mark, this one is very important. Mark the end. We know that project is it. Once you are starting a project, what should come to your mind is that a project is a temporal endeavor. It's temporal. Any project must be temporal. It must have an end. Before you start the project, you have to state how long this project is going to be. Even if there is extension, the reason for the extension must be justified. But even if after extension, it must still come to an end. We must mark the end of every project. If we need to call our project a success, if we start a project and we do not have any closure report, it means that project didn't end well. We didn't close the project. It's an abandoned project. Key components of a project closure report. Number one is project overview, brief summary of the project, its goal and scope. Objectives and scope, statement of objective and whether they were achieved. Deliverables summary, list of project deliverables and their status. Completed, pending, or incomplete. You must state the status of every deliverables. That's why every deliverable, once you finish, you click complete. Once you finish, you click complete. If you go to FreeCamp, you see that they are in the status of every deliverable in FreeCamp. You must always click complete. You as a project manager, if you assign it to a business analyst, once they finish, you see the due date, you go there, review. If you are happy with their deliverable, you click complete. You must click. So at every point, every project, every deliverable must have a status. At the end of the project, you say you click, you must list how many of the deliverables are completed and how many of them are incomplete or how many of them are pending. You must state that. Budget performance. Comparison of planned versus actual cost with explanation for variance. When you are starting, we have a budget and we have, if you are using like what we did in FreeCamp, if you look at it very well, you see the planned budget. At the end of the day, you see the actual budget. So we must look at the actual budget and the planned budget. If there is variance, meaning that maybe the actual budget exceeded the planned budget, then you must give a reason for the variance. Why did you exceed your planned budget? So there must be a reason for every variance. Or if you did not exhaust the budget, if there is either surplus or deficit, whichever way, there must be an explanation for that variance. Timeline performance, analysis of whether the project was completed on schedule and reason for delay. Schedule is the planned timeline. If you exceed your schedule, it means there must be delays along the line. You must state a reason for the delays along the line. Key success factors. Metrics or indicators used to assess project success. You know, when I want to put you on mute and I mistakenly remove you, is your problem, not mine, because this software is very, very easy to handle. It's just a click of button, you put yourself on mute. So we're talking about key success factors. If you look at every of my project brief, at the inception, from the beginning of the project, when the project brief is coming out, we must state what we think as success, what success looks like to us in that particular project. So that when you are succeeding, you know when you are succeeding. If you are not meeting that expected success factor, you know you are not meeting our targets. So we must have an indicator showing that this is success, we are hitting the success. If we meet the success, good. If we don't meet the success, we must see how we didn't meet the success. So we must equally capture metrics indicators used to assess our success, just like we captured it in the project brief. Stakeholder feedback, you know, not only in project brief, even in project charter, we capture success factors. So we must always look at it. It comes out, it appears in every document, because we are working on a project to succeed, and there is a set of objective we have in mind. Something must be met before we see that we've succeeded. Stakeholder feedback. Summary of feedback from stakeholders. When we complete a project, you know, before we start writing our closure report, we must have send client acceptance form. BAs need to send this form. BAs need to make sure that this form is the clients are happy and sign off all the key deliverables. Project managers can do that as well. So we need to get feedback from stakeholders before we can, because writing a report is concluding. These are some of the things we must have had a feedback from stakeholders before we say yes, we've closed. If they don't give you a nod to go ahead and close the project, there's no need of you coming to write a closure report without getting a nod from the stakeholder that they are happy. Challenges faced, description of major challenges and how they were addressed. That's why we capture RAID. This is easy to capture. If you go to a RAID, you see all your challenges in RAID. You know how you mitigated it. All these need to major challenges. You need to capture them. You are not going to be capturing everything as I say major challenges. So you need to capture them within the closure reports and mitigation strategies. Lesson learned. Of course, by now, you should have captured your lesson learned, insights, and recommendation for future projects. So you just pull this from your lesson learned report. Handover details. Handover of deliverable to relevant teams or stakeholders. Like I said, before reports, you must have do a handover report, which BAs or if the project managers can do as well. There must be a sign-off showing that, yeah, we've accepted, everything is just very good. Go on and close the project. So you must capture it here as well. And close out actions. Actions taken to close contracts, release resources, and finalize documentation. Every actions must be captured, and appendices, supporting documents, reports, visuals related to the project. You need to capture them or attach them to this document as well. So these are key components. It captures a lot of things and it's very detailed. So when you capture everything here, you have captured, you've created a very comprehensive project closure document. Key steps, step by step. If you've not done this before and you are wondering how are you going to do this, you can follow these steps and it will guide you to do a good job. First, gather project data, collect data on deliverables, timeline, cost, and outcome. Of course, you should have them handy because if you have done a good documentation, all these components we captured, you have them. Review key project documentation such as the project plan, meeting minutes, and risk register. Like when we're asking you to do this, is because we know that you are going to need this. You are going to need them. All the meeting minutes, these are things that are going to help you. Project plan, risk register or RAID log. They are going to, help you. Number 2, summarize project outcome. Number 2, summarize project outcome. Clearly state whether the project met its objective. Highlight key achievement and deliverables. Number 3, evaluate project performance. Compare actual performance against these are things we've captured as well in the component. Analyze the deviation and explain reason for variance. Number 4, lesson learned. Conduct lesson learned session with a project team. Note successes and area of improvement. Number 5, include stakeholder feedback. Collect feedback from stakeholders regarding project outcome and processes. Summarize their observation in the report.
Please, off your mic. Off your mic. You're disturbing us.
Number 5, number 6, finalize handover. Ensure deliverables are transferred to the operations team or stakeholder. Confirm all contractual obligations have been fulfilled. Number 7, compile your reports. Use a structured template to organize the information, review completeness and accuracy before distribution. And number 8, approval and distribution. Approve and distribute. Share the report with stakeholders and secure their approval. Once you secure the approval, archive the report for future reference. Just like that, you've created a report, you've ended your project. So, borrowing a leaf from Foodfraco expansion projects, all these expo, this I'm just giving you people expo. At the end of every lesson, I give you expo about your upcoming projects. You know, at the end of the day, after giving expo, I wouldn't want, some of you will still want to fail after all the expo I'm giving. Some people will just go and fail while you have the expo in your hand, or some people will see not want to do it the right thing. So, but I'll continue to try my best. In this example of a project closure report, the overview here is expansion of Foodfraco to 5 additional states in Nigeria to increase market share. Objective is achieve 95% of vendor onboarding and establish logistic partnership in all new states. Deliverable summary: vendor platform integration completed. Logistics contract completed. Customer outreach ongoing. Because you see this one, this is an ongoing activity. So it's ongoing marketing activity, but it's started. So means it's still on track. Plan budget, $5,000. That's £5,000. Sorry, £50,000. Actual expenditure is 48,500. 500,000 pounds. Budget savings due to a streamlined vendor onboarding. So you can see here, this is the plan versus actual. So there is a savings here and showing that the project team did a good job by not, although you hardly see people that can do this, they'll find a way to consume the whole savings. Team performance, project completed within the 8 weeks time frame. Key success factor, vendor onboarding rates, delivery efficiency, and customer retention in new states. Stakeholder feedback. Stakeholders express satisfaction with the smooth execution, but requested enhanced customer outreach. Challenges faced: delay in logistic partnership, resolved by engaging additional vendors. Lesson learned. Future expansion should include earlier engagement with vendor providers. So with this, if like in this project, you see the expansion is within 5 to expand to the 5 states. So maybe other projects will be then to expand to another 5 states. With this lesson learned, they have gained something that will help them to avoid any kind of delay. Like you see here, delay in logistics and partner. So other coming projects they will find because of the lesson learned. Okay, let's move on to handover details. Operations team has taken over vendor management and customer service. So it's no longer within the hand of the project because you people have established and handed it over to operations team. They will now continue from here and manage these activities. Close out action, finalize all vendor contracts, archive project documentation, and release resources. And appendix, map of new states, vendor onboarding statistics, and financial reports. So that's it. With that, there is a good closure report. So scenario, develop a project closure for a project, for food tracker project based on the provided template. Discuss as a team what went well, challenges faced, and lesson learned. And this is to prepare the practice and review project closure report. So this brings us to the end of this meeting tonight. So we've seen step by steps on how to create a project closure report and equally a template, and understand what project closure report is all about. So with a lot of expo here, I think you should be happy. And but if you still have questions, we are here to address those questions. So all right, it's good. I'm not seeing any hands up, meaning that my teaching skill is becoming top notch. Oh, it starts like as Isaac, you disagree with my teaching skills, yeah?
No, I'm not disagreeing. I just want a clarification.
Okay. Sorry.
Your teaching style is top notch. Honestly, it's easy to grab so many things. I just want a small clarification. When you talk about expected success factors, is it the same thing as definition of done?
Yeah, definition of done is in agile environments, and it's the same thing. Success factor. Definition of done means that when we finish a deliverable, we must agree that it's done before we can click done, or before we can tick that checkbox that this is done. So we need to meet this particular, just like success factors. These are various names. Like in Agile, when we talk about definition of done, we must have to look at the acceptance criteria. Have we met the acceptance criteria? Yes. if for a particular deliverable, for a particular user story to reach a definition of done, it must have satisfied the acceptance criteria through testing.
Okay.
So, but in this case, if you are using general project management approach, I will call it success factor.
Okay.
No, what we say this is a success, so we've achieved our aim, and
Okay.
we must have an a clear, like you say, 95%, or we can see we must register 200 vendors, at least 200 vendors. So if we don't register up to 200 vendors, we didn't hit the target. But if we hit anything above 200 vendors, that is definition of done.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir. Understood now.
No worries. All right, people. Any more questions? Okay. Good. So I think the next thing is that I'm going to drag us to the next, which is going to be soft skills. Well, that will be the next topic, will be tomorrow. Stanley Phillips.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Stanley.
I'm very sorry for interrupting, but I checked for yesterday class. I couldn't see it. It's like it have not been uploaded because I missed. So I wanted to upgrade myself, you know.
No, the yesterday class was not recorded, so you miss it. You miss it forever.
Gosh.
Yeah. So you can find people that attended for them to brief you, you know, so, but it wasn't just a catch-up meeting to check how far we've gone with our projects, to see who have started and who have not started. So it's not like it's any lesson. We didn't have any lesson, and it wasn't a project status meeting with documentation. So you don't need to worry.
Gosh. Almost killed me. Oh my God.
All right.
I'm all right now.
No worries. Sorry
right.
about that.
I'm all right.
Okay, Luashe.
Good evening, Mr. Charles.
Good evening.
Good evening, everyone. My questions revolves around the project at hand, and vis-a-vis the registration of vendors and their onboarding. Apparently, it's going to be about selling food charcoal to vendors, and in doing that, I think we need to be well equipped with the intricacies of food charcoal as it relates to the cost and benefit of being onboarded. You know, when we are selling a package to vendors, we need to be well equipped with the modus operandi, and particularly what they will stand to gain and what it will cost them for being onboarded. So I feel we need to know, because it's, even if we are going to hire a marketing team, we still need to train these people. And if we are going to be the
Although
marketer, we
hang on, this is what you need to discuss at the project environment with your team. That's why it's a project. I'm not the one here to tell you all these things. You go to your team and do brainstorming. That's why it's a project. I didn't create a team for me to come and manage the team or do the project. That's what we are there to do. We need to do some work. When you get confused, you request for stakeholders to gather requirements.
I want to seek clarification on something, sir.
Okay.
For being onboarded as a vendor, I know that there is certainly going to be a cost for being onboarded. For instance, a vendor cannot be registered on FoodTrackle free of charge. So I'm feeling that I'm thinking that probably there's a certain percentage of the total sale that goes to FoodTrackle. So we don't know this. I don't know this. So this is what I'm talking about.
That is why you have to go request for stakeholder requirement gathering during the project, not during the lesson. Do you understand the project at all? Have you had a team meeting? Have you assembled your team to decide what to do? What are you going to do within your team? What are the activities you are going to work on? That is what we call it a project. You have to decide how to solve this problem, how to achieve. If you want to understand FoodTrackle and you do not understand it, then you decide when to invite stakeholders for them to explain more about FoodTrackle. But it's not on the lesson. It's part of the project activities. So these are what you are going to be doing. I'm not the one to do it for you. You are going to do it for yourself. That's why you are on internship. It's hard work. You can't just come out and call yourself a project manager without doing anything. Am I clear?
It's okay, sir.
Okay. Mr. Mustafa.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Yes, sir. Sir, in line with what this person that just finished talking is asking, so, there was a day I asked a question and you asked me to wait for requirement gathering. So I was just wondering, is this thing going to be a requirement gathering class?
Today is not requirement gathering. Today is project closure reports class, not requirement gathering class. You must learn that you have to be disciplined as a project manager. You must learn to address issues when is the time to address the issue. You can't bring different deliverable to another deliverable. That is a mix-up and that will bring confusion. When somebody is watching this video and the person wants to understand project closure report and the person all of a sudden will start talking about requirement gathering, that is out of order. So if you want to understand about FoodTrackle, then you must request a meeting for stakeholders. Try to find out when the stakeholders are available for a meeting. You have to chase them around to give you a date. You are not playing. This is live project. FoodTrackle is a full-fledged company that has been operating for 5 years. So go look for their stakeholders. Not me, I'm just a teacher here. So if I happen to be a stakeholder at that point, we talk as stakeholders. But here, talk to me as a teacher and a student. Not me, I'm not going to go there and do it. My own is to get you on the internship. And you're already on the internship.
Thank you, sir.
Good. Any other question? All right. Good, good. Oh, it's not, this is not rice and beans, you know. You have to, before you become a project manager, you must have done something to deserve to be called a project manager, not by watching movies or videos. Watching recorded video doesn't make it. You must have cracked your brain, chase stakeholders, try to get meetings, and they said no. Try to convince them. That is when all those things are happening, you must have missed some deliverables. You must have to work hard to make sure that you deliver the project on time. All these things are struggle. You can't just get up and watch movie and start earning £500 a day. It doesn't happen that way. So all of you are looking for requirement gathering to understand more about the company you've just joined. Try to look, and if I happen to see me up there as maybe the CEO, you talk to me as CEO. If you happen to see me as a director, you talk to me as director. So you have to do your stakeholder analysis to know the stakeholders you are going to talk to. If you have not done that, go and do your stakeholder analysis to find who are the right people to talk to find what is going on in Food Trackle and understand the project. That is how it should be done. All right. See you guys tomorrow.
Good night.
Good evening, sir. You're not smiling with us at all. No.
What?
Thank you, Mr. Chan.
You're not smiling at all.
Why should I smile? By the time you'll be making this money, I know none of you is going to remember me.
Mr. Charles.
I know so many of you that have been making serious money. I know so many of you, some who passed through my class making ridiculous amount of money. None of them will ever say, let me remember Mr. Charles. Even say Mr. Charles Christmas ram, you know.
Yes.
But you want me to be... No, I'm not smiling with you. So you have to do your job because you want to be a big boy. It's either you want to be a big boy. There's two ways of being a big boy. You work hard and become a big boy legitimately, or you join Yahoo. When they catch you, you know where you'll be. That's so.
Mr. Charles, we can actually work together on a project, you know, in future.
I'm always available. I've chosen this path. You know, if you go to Freight Camp, we have so many projects going on. So, okay. So if you, for instance, now let me share so that this is what I'm doing, managing projects of different kind, different group. Is what I'm doing for a living.
You're a big man, though.
Well, it's by choice. If you want to be big man, you'll soon be like me. You know?
Today, like both bus.
So if you... Big man is by choice. So like you have decided to be here. That is the first step to be a big man. So
Wahala dey o.
So this is, you see, there's a lot of projects going on. All this group, that's how I fight with them every day to do their work. You are just joining the league. We have serious Champions League going on here. No be my to do here.
But sir, we cannot actually all these projects on our own field camp.
What?
I cannot see all these projects.
Why would you see them? Are you in the projects? You can only see the projects you are in.
Okay, I thought it's like a community where we can see everything.
No, if you want to be in other, these are different projects. So if you can see this one is Paygo CRM implement. This is a UK project. We just started this project last week, and so there are so many project teams we have. So, and just like you, so, and they have to do their work. You know, you have to go look for the stakeholders, and it's not easy to get stakeholders. If it's time for stakeholder engagement, so you might find out that the chance you know now might not be the chance that might be doing shakara for you to talk to me, you know. So
This is serious.
all right.
We will
Yeah,
I'm
I'm not scaring you guys. I'm just trying to make you guys to understand that.
And yesterday class is telling me.
So we have to do, because we have 2 projects to complete in this boot camp.
Huh?
The better you hit the ground running, the sooner you hit the ground running, the better for you. And good night.
Good night, Mr. Shaz. Thank you very much, sir.
Good night.
Mr.
Please don't go yet.
Good night, sir.